back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the life path number 4 in Chaldean numerology. So the life path 4, guys, is a very unique personality. I oftentimes myself, in my perspective, consider it to be very related to Aquarius. Aquarius is represented by Uranus or Rahu. With Chaldean numerology, the eastern side of things, we will be discussing it as Rahu. Rahu is the head of a demon snake that was severed by the gods for disrespecting the law and order of the universe in Hinduism. So this snake was a giant snake that was actually in turn cut in half for the disrespect that they showed to the universal order. The bottom half is Ketu, which is represented by the number 7, and the top half is Rahu, which is represented by the number 4. These make up the north and south node of the moon, so they have a high relation with the moon, and also their major topic is with eclipses. But that's a whole other discussion. I'm going to do a video separate about Rahu and Ketu as well, so you guys understand the story, the full mythology of it, and their significance within numerology and astrology as a whole. But to get right into our main topic today, it's going to be the number 4. The number 4 in Chaldean numerology is definitely known to be somewhat of the outcast, the black sheep, the person in the family that's quite an innovator, a pioneer, very smart, but might not often know that. And it's very, very similar to the definition that we have in Pythagorean numerology, where they're very security oriented. The only difference here is that they do reflect in Chaldean numerology a lot more of the rebellious nature and the fact that their life can be quite chaotic. To start off, we know the basis of the number 4, represented by Ra, who's all about the dimension of the square, the foundation of the world. It's represented as being a safety and security number. It's there for people that are innovators, highly intelligent, but with the different compound aspects of it, there are different effects that it may have. The first primary one that I want to discuss is the number 13. If you guys haven't noticed, in a lot of different apartment buildings across the world, the number 13 can't even be in them. This is for a good reason. They're not considered to be a good luck number. 13 can be very powerful if in the right person's hands, meaning if the right person is using number 13 as their life path, they're then able to actually use the energy and get ahead with it. So with that being said, the number 13 with some people makes them very good innovators, very great pioneers. Their speech, because of the 1 in 3, is very powerful and influences the masses, even the world. They're able to really intimidate authority figures because of their highly genius mind and IQ. They think outside the box. They bring new ideas to whatever it is that they're doing. Their major specialties, the 13 particularly, is like in the political arena or something within arts and creativity. Those two, as much as they seem like opposites, are kind of the same. They both deal with an audience, and they both are able to get their point across in a certain way where they have an expression of themselves. And it's not like the number 3, which was all positive, happy-go-lucky. The number 4 is more of on that dark side of things. So they bring a different sort of energy to the masses. Most often than not, they're actually known for some sort of infamy. They might not actually be known for a positive thing, but best believe they will be known. The number 13 in the Western side was a karmic debt number. And this side, it does give special powers as well, though. And the special powers that it does give is the ability to influence. My advice here, though, by reading the Chaldean tablets on it, is be wary of when you go into a workplace if you're number 13, not to overshadow the boss. Make sure that you're not actually outshining them in any sort of way, just because people are naturally very intimidated by you guys. And because, for one, you guys are very smart, and 2, you guys think differently than most people. When you bring that into a business arena, that gives you a high advantage. A lot of number 13 people end up becoming things like mathematicians, scientists, or engineers. But like I said, the specialty here is in the arts and in politics as well. Next one I want to cover is number 22. We all know, considered the most powerful number in numerology. In Chaldean numerology, they don't really give the whole emphasis on the master numbers as much. They acknowledge that they're there, but they don't really give them that extra emphasis that we do in the Pythagorean style. So with the 22, it's really known for crooked people. That's the main topic of the 22, is that they're around a lot of crooked people in their environment. In turn, they either become evil to adapt or they get stepped on. And it sounds very dark and gloomy, but it could be a very good thing. A lot of good life path 22s end up becoming people like Oprah that actually help people that have been through the same things that she's been through. Oprah's been through rape and a whole bunch of horrendous things in her childhood. She then used that to actually influence the masses and help people and give back. So that's the way of using the negativity and then switching it around in your own style. That's what I mean by when you have the number 4, you can very much use it to your advantage as well. Another example would be Diddy. He went through his own things as well, where it was very negative. Same exact concept. He was able to use the 22 energy to get ahead in life. A lot of famous people with the 22, they do have a very bad background, but they're able to flip that and then use it to their advantage and become hardened by it. A lot of people that are in the 22 category, just regular, they end up becoming involved in organized crime. financial crime, or there'll be somebody like a lawyer or a judge who actually, or a police officer who's just dealing with law as a whole. That makes it a lot better because they're actually just there and they're able to be on the right side of the law, but use that negative energy to their advantage. The key in Chaldean is that they tell you whether or not your energy is going to be positive or negative. But even if the energy is negative, you can use it as a profession. You can use it as a career. Because if I was a life path 22, for instance, looking at the Chaldean tablets, I get into things like military. I become like a doctor, somebody who deals with sick people, or somebody who deals with youth delinquents or just grown up criminals. Because those are where I'm going to shine the most, and that's where I'm going to make the most money. So that's just my recommendation. Anybody who has the life path 22 and you believe in Chaldean numerology specifically. The next one is 31. It's kind of a backwards version of the 13. It works quite similar. These guys are more artistically prone than the 13, where the 13 wants to be more of a leader, more pronounced, more, I would say, like magnanimous, like they want to just be seen on stage as somebody who's very powerful. Whereas a 31 will actually be like a writer, somebody that's more in the background, but they still have that general influence when they need to have it. They can be both an introvert and an extrovert at the same time. Here again, watch out for becoming a social outcast, especially if your birth number and name number don't agree with the 31 over 4. You have to watch out for people perceiving you in the wrong way, maybe because you're too shy, or maybe it's because you talk too much. It's going to be either one extreme or the other. So you just got to make sure. Rahu does make a lot of chaos in one's life, a lot of random changes. You need to be more fluid and understand that these changes are meant to build you as a character, and you're going to be able to use these things in your career and other aspects of your life. The last one now is the number 40. Number 40 is 4 amplified by 0, so you guys can imagine the chaos is amplified. There's mental disabilities associated with this as well, but also genius level IQ, if that makes sense. There's different mental ailments that you can get because Rahu is such a chaotic energy that when not directed correctly in one's body, if it's not compatible with them, it can cause different things, diseases, all those things included. However, the number 40 is the most influential of all the 4 numbers, even the 22. The 40 has the ability to become Mr. or Mrs. Public. They're the people that can really just go out there and outshine a lot of people. When their name is called, when they're on stage, people really view it like they're talking for the people, similar to like what a Robin Hood would do. So this is a great number for any sort of like music or politics, just like with the 13. But anything to do with like advocacy, charitable organizations, all these things can go under that one as well. You deal with negative circumstances, like I said with the 4, but you flip them to positive ones, and you build a grand structure that can be seen in the future. The 8 is more about the legacy, but the 4 does make a lot of huge changes to the world as well. Whether that be positive or negative is your choice, of course. But aside from that, guys, that should conclude this video. If you guys do have any questions about any of the Life Path 4 subtopics that I've talked about, the 13, the 22, the 31, or the 40, let me know in the comments. Aside from that, guys, like, subscribe, holler at me. It's it for today, guys. Peace.